welcome back guys, thanks for joining us for another beer review. If you're new to the channel, this is All the Beer No Idea. My name is Baz, and if you're not new to the channel, let's crack on, because you know what the score is, don't you? Anyway, Friday, woohoo, doesn't make any odds to me because I've been off all week, but it's still nice, it's Friday. So it's time for a beer, and the fact that I have been off, and I'll be off next week probably, I'm not really bothering about what time I start having a beer, but it's alright, it's 2:30. It's got to be 5 o'clock somewhere. So I'm drinking a beer that I got from Trembling Madness not so long ago, and it's from Sureshot, and this is their first standalone beer of theirs that I'm having. I think I did review one with Vocation from the supermarkets, but this is their first standalone one. And this is a pale ale, and this is their best dressed chicken in town. Not sure if you can see that. Best dressed chicken in town. It's clearly a rip-off of sort of like a KFC or a chicken place. It's a pale ale coming in at 3.5%. It's in a 440ml can, and this coming at £3.30. Is it worth it, £3.30 for such a low ABV beer? I don't know. I can't even be asked to get into it. You make up your own mind. There was something else I was going to say. Sureshot out of Manchester. So let's get this cracked open, get it into a glass and see what we get. Now originally, I think if I'd known this was 3.5% pale ale, I probably wouldn't have bothered, but won't do me any harm, will it? I mean, it may well turn out to be a very nice pale ale with lots of flavour, but we'll have to see, won't we? So we'll get it out. It may change when I get the last bit, and I'm going to leave a little bit in the bottom just so it gives me room to give this a swirl. But first impressions, let's just pause the video a minute. That's better. That's it, just pause it, shut the curtain because the light was coming through. First impressions on the beer, you're still getting it anyway, aren't you? You're still getting it. First impressions, a hazy sort of orange colour. We've got a good finger of quite large bubble white head. It doesn't look particularly heavy, I've got to say, but it probably looks heavier than most 3.5% beers would look like. But yeah, looks all right. So let's dive in on the nose and see what we get. Yeah, it smells nice, to be honest. Tropical, hoppy. I think there's definitely pineapple in there. Pineapple, grapefruit, that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, it smells all right. So I'm going to get the rest out the can and get it in there. See if it changes much. Will it go any hazier? Yeah, it's maybe gone a little bit hazier. There was one lump of something that dropped in my glass. But yeah, looks all right. So let's stop waffling. Let's dive in on Sureshot's the best dressed chicken in town pale ale. Cheers. Actually, that and a bad. It does say on the back, it's got some mental stuff on the back that I couldn't be asked to read. Plucky, I'll read it out anyway. Plucky petite, pale dry hopped with Idaho 7, Citra and Centennial. Crispy skin citrus pecks the top of a thick thighed body with dank nuggets of tropical finger licking strips. Yes, boss, you want the sauce? Contains water, barley, wheat, oats, hops and yeast. And I think you can tell it's got oats in it from the body, because there's no way you'd get that sort of body, I don't think, from a 3.5% beer otherwise. It is quite sprightly in the mouth, shall we say. It's certainly not overcarbonated, but there is quite a bit of carbonation in there. Not the smoothest, but it's not terrible by any means. Has got quite a nice soft sort of mouthfeel. On the taste, you get that it's got oats in. I think you just kind of get that oaty taste in there. Definitely a little bit of dankness. Tropical, juicy, pineapple, a little dank bitterness in there for me. You certainly get that little bit of a hop taste in there. You definitely get the oats, I think, in the taste. 3.5%. I think you could actually think this drink's higher than 3.5%. Finishes off with a little gentle bitterness, even though the bitterness is there to start off with. It's still there in the mouth, and it does linger, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, if someone told you that was 4.5%, I don't think you wouldn't question it without knowing. Yeah, that's pretty decent for something. For a pale ale that's only 3.5%, I mean, if there's any sort of style that I'm not going to be a massive fan of, it's probably a pale ale. It's probably my least favourite sort of style. And the fact that it's 3.5% would probably, you know, it should be making me, how I am, go, no chance, this is awful. But Sureshot have done a good job on that, I think. Pardon me. So yeah, their best dressed chicken in town, pale ale, coming in at 3.5%. I think they've done a decent job of that. I won't pick it up again because I'm always trying new beers, but given the chance, would I drink it again? Yeah, I wouldn't have any qualms with drinking that. That's well worth giving a go, and especially if you like your beers a little bit lower in the ABV. That's a decent one. That's a decent one. So, Sureshot's best dressed chicken in town pale ale. I think it's decent. If you see it, give it a go. If you've had it before, let me know what you think. Thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll be back later with no doubt a couple more. Enjoy your weekend if I don't see you again. And I'll see you again soon on another one. Cheers.